Hey there, so got a little bit of a random video. I'm doing some maintenance on this compactor, plate compactor. It is a Wacker WP1550. So what I'm doing is I'm checking the belt tension because it seems to be losing some of its compacting force, whichever you want to call it. So I believe the belt is slipping. So what I did was I moved the belt guard here, which is on there with Allen head cap screws, I guess you call them. They are 6mm. So first we're going to move them, get the belt guard accessible, and then we're going to a little set up there. So this belt is supposed to be adjusted at 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch of deflection between the two pulleys in the middle. So put the tape measure there, and I get pretty much 3/4 of an inch. So we're a little bit loose. So what'll happen is the belt will start slipping, and it won't rotate the vibrator head as quickly as it's supposed to, so you're not getting the impacting forces as often as you are supposed to. But so this got kind of a different type of tensioner. It's tensioned by this pulley. So there are 3 spacers in between these two halves of the pulley, and if you want to tighten the belt, you remove some of the spacers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 4 bolts, the four nuts off, and we're going to remove this outer ring of the pulley, and we're going to take out one of the spacers that are in there, and then we're going to put the pulley half back on, and then they recommend putting the spacer on the outside of the pulley, basically so you can keep it and you don't misplace it. Or I mean, it might be also because of the length of the bolts too. I'm not exactly sure why they recommend you keep it on the outside, but it's one of those reasons, I'm guessing. And it ain't coming off very easy. So these nuts here are 13mm. Took the washers off, take the pulley half off. So, actually it looks like it wore into it pretty good. Couple of like steps in there. Yeah. So, take the belt off, and we will remove, see these spacer rings here. So we'll take one off for now. See if that gets us there. And put this half back on. Spacer ring on. Washers on. nuts on. I'd say probably tighten that guy, then rotate it, tighten this guy. I'd recommend tightening it on the side that's over here so the belt's not pinched in there. You don't pinch the belt. So let's see, 2. I'll put 2 1/4. I mean, I could force it, but so yeah. Definitely tighter. So 2. Yeah, 2 1/4, 2 3/8. Should be good. So that's how you gotta tighten. So I mean, I don't know how often anyone's going to come across it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Definitely a different method of tensioning it. Is it? And that's kind of making me nervous because you don't want to come apart while the thing's running. I mean, I guess basically it would just stop working because the belt would lose its grip. Is it? Put a cover back on. So that's how you tighten the belt. Another complaint they had about this is that when it gets on a slope, it dies. So basically it just kind of, the engine will tip one way or the other. And I believe what the problem is there's a oil level sensor inside the crankcase here, and what happens is as you turn a little bit, the oil will flow away and then the float will drop and it'll shut it off because it thinks it's out of oil. So I looked in here. I've run across the problem before, and a lot of times they'll give you some oil and it's usually not enough to fill it all the way. So the recommended fill on these is actually to the bottom of the threads right here. You probably can't see with this bright light. You see that? So the recommended fill is right to the bottom of this thread right here, like right at this edge. So you should be able to see oil like all the way up in here. But you see how you can see some of the threads there. So this is down probably probably like 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So I mean that'll make a big difference. So I'm just gonna put some oil in there and fill it up to the top of that threaded edge there. So I got that full now. I don't think it took a whole lot, but so you see how it's filled right to the edge. But I mean, being down a little bit, it will make a difference. Guess I wouldn't recommend overfilling them, but if you're on if you run this obviously not on a very level surface and you're on hills a lot, maybe put a little extra in or something so it keeps that float up and keeps it from shutting down on you. So anyway, kind of a little bit of a random video, but hope that can help somebody. If not, let me know what I did wrong, and I thank you for watching.